We cannot change the circumstances of our lives, but we can go back in time and we can literally change our feelings, our thoughts, our perspective, and it will go boom, 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 boom. All of the times that happens, it corrects, and all of the sudden you just like, it's just gone. It doesn't matter. You guys, I had quite a bit of sexual abuse as a child and as a teenager, and it devastated me, and it really got in the way of my marriage. Go figure. And when I went in, I actually used EFT tapping, if anybody knows anything about that. It was mind-blowing that I could be in so much pain and then it's just gone. Like I remembered it, it just didn't matter. We have to be strong enough to save ourselves. And as long as we're pointing the finger at mom or dad or the abuser or the sister or anybody that's hurt us, we're not going to move forward until we say, okay, Ruthie, what were you thinking when you were 6 years old and this happened? How can I help you? How can I help you see it more clearly? I think that I do at the beginning of all of my classes. I just decided to give this to you anyway, because it's powerful. It's so simple and it's powerful. It's been fun, like to follow my clients and see what they do with this one simple tool. So are you guys willing to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Before you go to bed, in the relaxed state, after you take a few deep breaths and you feel yourself sinking, as you're drifting off, you loop a thought in your head. How many of us loop thoughts anyway? And sometimes they're not very nice. Say, okay, yes, I hear you, and I'm going to put it on the shelf and I'll look at you tomorrow. But right now, I have a directive for my mind. You have no idea how it will work, but you put that directive into your subconscious mind and loop it. Forgive mom, I forgive mom, I forgive mom, I forgive mom. Show me how. And that's the key. Show me how. And then you have a pad of paper by the bed and you keep notes, because you start having crazy dreams and you're like, what the heck does this mean? But then you sit still again. What could this mean? And you define it yourself, or you send me a Marco Polo and Renae, what does this mean? It could be the day after, it could be 2 days after, and just in the middle of nowhere, you get the thought. But I promise you it happens and it works, because your subconscious mind knows everything that you need to do for healing, for moving forward, for staying safe. If you take anything away, you're worthy of love. You always have been. None of the rest matters. That's all just noise to make you believe otherwise. And 2, it's your emotions and feelings that you need to look at, not the circumstance.
Very good. I did want to share just quickly before we say goodbye, a post that I found on your page, the Quantum Filled Trips. You said, I remember very vividly hoping and praying that someone would save me from the painful feelings and experiences in my childhood, young adulthood, and even a number of years into adulthood. I didn't feel like it was my fault. My depression, my anxiety, the circumstances that I felt were valid reasons for feeling the way I did. If I had the resources, I would have entered into a treatment facility where I felt like someone could fix me. I wanted someone to bail me out. I did see therapists, and you mentioned this. I read hundreds of self-help and psychology books. I went to seminars. I hired coaches. I eventually found my way to hypnotherapy. But somewhere along the line, I realized it was me. I had the power and strength to save me. I asked for help and advice and studied options that might help. Some did and some didn't. I made mistakes. There were times when I just stayed in bed and tried and prayed for someone to save me again, for God to take me home. Then I would start all over again. I practiced being happy before I was. I celebrated forward movement when I noticed it. I allowed myself to feel sad, angry, frustrated, and anything else. But at a time when I could keep it away from my family, like the shower or car.
Mhm.
Then, little by little, the scales began to shift. Instead of feeling depressed or overwhelmed, or it's not fair the majority of the time, it shifted to joy and acceptance, grace and resilience most of the time. It was me that did it. Yes, I had help, but I sought it out. I decided I wanted to change. I was my own older and wiser rock of a person to carry me forward. For my religious friends, I know you're thinking only Christ can save, and you may be right. Still, he requires us to do the work of knocking, or of asking, of doing all we can, and then allowing God's healing power to take effect. So, my friend, if you're at rock bottom or the end of your rope, or just not where you want to be, and you wish someone could just give you a hand, a handout and save you, start with the one in the mirror. I just love that. It's so inspiring that we have all of these things that are holding us back. We don't have to stay here. We don't have to stay in that feeling of hopelessness or helplessness, because God created us to be this way, to be able to make it through these things. I really appreciate everything you've taught today. We'll stay in touch. Thank you, Ruthie.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.